Hello to all dear students. In this video, we will be discussing about myasthenia gravis. Myasthenia gravis is an example of autoimmune disorder. Autoimmune disorder. And it mainly affects 1 in 10,000 of the population. The main symptoms of myasthenia gravis is there will be muscle weakness and fatigue on repeated activity, and this weakness will be relieved after taking rest. So as you can see, it is an autoimmune disorder. That means an auto antibody is being produced against anything. So what this thing is, we'll check out now. First of all, we'll see what normally the thing happens, and then we'll check out what all the things happens which leads to myasthenia gravis. So here, it is a kind of muscle weakness. So suppose this is your brain, and from here arises a motor neuron, and this motor neuron is mainly directed towards your skeletal muscle. So suppose this is skeletal muscle. Okay, so this is a motor neuron and this is the skeletal muscle, and the space is the synapse. So you can say this is your presynaptic membrane and this one is the postsynaptic membrane. This end is your skeletal muscle. Skeletal muscle. And you know, on the skeletal muscle, what kind of receptor is present? Yes, that is cholinergic muscarinic receptor, or you can say NM receptor, which is a kind of ion channel kind of receptor. So all these are NM receptor along with their pockets where the acetylcholine will come and occupy and cause its activation. See, whenever this neuron gets activated, what will happen? It will cause a release of acetylcholine. And what this acetylcholine will do? Acetylcholine will act on this NM receptor, because of which some kind of conformational changes occurs, because of which there will be influx of sodium ion leading to production of action potential. That means depolarization followed by repolarization occurs, leading to contraction of this skeletal muscle. This is a normal condition. Now what exactly happens in myasthenia gravis means, here we have got thymus gland we have. So thymus is there. So in thymus, some muscle cells changes will be taking place. Some kind of changes will be occurring in the cells of the thymus, and because of which here NM receptor will be produced, which is a kind of abnormal thing. Okay, what happens over here in the thymus, a cell modification or some kind of alteration occurs, because of which NM receptor is being produced in the thymus, which is a kind of abnormality. When something goes abnormal, what will happen? Yes, our immune system will get activated. Immune system, it will get activated, and after activation what will happen? Yes, it will start producing antibodies. So many antibodies are being produced, and what these antibodies will do? It will destroy the NM receptor of the thymus. But this is a normal protective mechanism. But what happens? These antibodies, now it has been produced, and the main job of these antibodies are to destroy the NM receptor wherever it finds. It finds NM receptor on the thymus, it destroy it, it's a normal thing, a protective thing. But it will also find NM receptor on the skeletal muscle as well, and it will start attacking the NM receptor present on the skeletal muscle, and it will destroy these receptors. So acetylcholine, whatever is there, acetylcholine will be released, but it will not find much amount of the receptor on which it can act. So there will be so much of acetylcholine present over here, but very few, one or two cholinergic receptor are available for production of action. So the number of receptor is less and the acetylcholine level is too high. So what will happen here? Yes, the advantage is taken by the enzyme, that is acetylcholine esterases enzyme, along with its so big teeth it will come and it will try to eat up all this acetylcholine. Okay, so it will reduce the level of acetylcholine as well. So what is happening in your myasthenia gravis? Yes, autoantibody is being produced against this NM receptor, and these antibodies will destroy the NM receptor. So acetylcholine will be releasing in a normal way, in a normal amount, but it has got very few NM receptor to act upon, and on the top the acetylcholine esterase enzyme will come and it will it will try to eat up all the acetylcholine and it will reduce the level of acetylcholine. Means even few receptor are there, but for acting on those few receptor also acetylcholine is not available. So this results in muscle weakness. So this is the problem, and this what happens in your myasthenia gravis. Now how to treat this myasthenia gravis? One way of treatment is to inhibit this acetylcholine esterase enzyme. This is the one way. Okay, so first way or first method by which we can treat myasthenia gravis is by giving anticholine esterases. So drugs like neostigmine is primarily used for the treatment of myasthenia gravis. So the treatment is usually started with 15 mg given orally, and then later on dose and frequency is then adjusted accordingly. Apart from neostigmine, even pyridostigmine can also be used. But pyridostigmine is used less frequently. On rare condition only we are using pyridostigmine. To the max, neostigmine is being used. So what this neostigmine will do? It will inhibit this enzyme. So what will happen when this enzyme is inhibited? The availability of acetylcholine is more, and this acetylcholine will act on the receptor. Whatever amount of receptor is available, it will act on that receptor and produce the action. So this is how we can treat myasthenia gravis. And another way by which we can treat this problem is by doing thymectomy. Thymectomy. See, anything which is ending with tomy means we are cutting and removing it. So we need to cut and remove of thymus, and this is the main source of the problem. Because of some kind of alteration occurring in the cells of the thymus, it start producing NM receptor, in response to which antibodies was being produced. So when you do thymectomy, when you remove this organ only, so there won't be any problem. So this is a second way. So second way by which we can treat myasthenia gravis is by doing thymectomy. Next, another way by which we can treat this problem is by depressing or suppressing the immune system. So we say it as immunosuppressant. So we can give immunosuppressants. So what happens when we suppress immune system? The production of antibody will be reduced, and the antibody will no more come and destroy these receptors. When this production of antibodies are being inhibited, then what will happen? There will be time will be there for regeneration of other receptors. So immunosuppressant are the third way by which we can treat myasthenia gravis. Immunosuppressants. So drugs such as corticosteroids and even azathioprine and cyclosporine. So these drugs are generally used as immunosuppressant by which the myasthenia gravis can be treated. And another way by which we can treat myasthenia gravis is removal of these antibodies. So how can we remove these antibodies? Antibodies can be removed by plasmapheresis. So this is the fourth way. Plasmapheresis, or you can say plasma exchange. It is another approach. It may produce dramatic but often short-lived improvement in myasthenia gravis. So these are the 4 ways by which we can treat myasthenia gravis. Now little bit we'll try to emphasize on this anticholinesterases. What these anticholinesterases are doing, they are inhibiting these enzymes, increasing the availability of acetylcholine to produce the action. But sometimes a reverse action is produced, which is known as cholinergic weakness, or you can say cholinergic crisis, or you can say over treatment with anticholinesterase. Okay. Over treatment with anticholinesterase. As you know, for producing contraction or activation of the skeletal muscle, it requires an optimum supply of acetylcholine. If acetylcholine is available in less amount, it may lead to myasthenia gravis like condition, that is muscle weakness. But on the contrary, if the availability of acetylcholine is more than required, it will also cause weakness of the muscle. So how to detect that thing? We are detecting that thing by a drug known as edrophonium. So nearly 2 mg intravenously edrophonium is been given. Suppose after giving edrophonium there was improvement. So that means the muscle weakness was due to myasthenia gravis. But instead, after giving edrophonium, there is no improvement, or rather there is worsening condition. So this is mainly due to cholinergic crisis. Because of over availability of acetylcholine, there will be muscle weakness. So therefore we should always monitor that how much amount of neostigmine we are giving. Neostigmine is a drug which will mainly cause inhibition of the enzyme acetylcholinesterase. But if all the acetylcholinesterase is been removed, then what will happen? A large amount of acetylcholine will be available, and it will continuously cause depolarization of whatever receptor available. And continuous depolarization will cause inhibition of the receptor. So we do not want that also. There should be activation of the receptor, but there should be an optimum acetylcholine to produce optimum activation of the receptor. So there is a double-edged sword kind of thing when you are giving anticholinesterase drug. So this is about the cholinergic crisis.